Here's part two of our interview from June 1987 with Blue Rodeo. Greg Keeler, Jim Cuddy talking about Outskirts, that first album, with veteran broadcaster, journalist Steve Burgess.
Okay, the album. Recorded when, how, where, with who?
Digitally recorded and mastered recorded in McClear Place in Toronto, mastered in New York with producer Terry Brown. That's about it.
Engineer Mike Jones.
Recorded
in January. What else? What else is there about that?
Use some other people, did you, aside from the band?
No.
No?
The Monkees. Mickey Dolenz played all the drums.
They were bitter because they never got to play on their own records, so the Monkees were allowed to play on the Blue Rodeo album.
Yeah, no, we didn't use any sidemen. We were thinking of it at one point, but we didn't use any sidemen, and we really didn't use any other equipment than we used live too. So I mean, that was turned out to be a kind of conceptual thing for us. We'd try B3s and we'd try the stuff that was around, and it just always sounded too sophisticated for us. So we just stuck to the stuff we had.
You guys are aware that I'm just hoping you guys aren't fashion followers, because if you are fashion followers, you're very bad at it.
Why is
Well, we're
that?
victims of fashion.
Victims of fashion.
Yeah.
Well, this music is not exactly what's happening at the top of the pop charts right now.
It's not?
Oh, shit.
What I tell you, you see, you're just kind of bad.
Where have we been? Oh,
I do it. I hate to break it to you.
Yeah, it's not, I consider it pop music, you know, but it's pop music more in the way that let's say a lot of the music was in 65 to 67, when the Beatles influenced a lot of American bands like the Loving Spoonful and the Byrds and the Burrito Brothers and, you know, countless other bands that had, you know, real jangly electric feel.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, I guess it's sort of, it's songs too, there's, you know, and things that people can listen to. It's the type of thing that you can go back to, rather than the first listening go, oh wow, there's a big hit. But this one, most people have been saying that first time they hear it, they say, oh yeah, that's a nice record. But then the more they go back to it, the more it means to them.
Yeah, my point just being that you obviously didn't get inspired by this record by listening to Janet Jackson on the radio.
We wanted to get more control over our lives.
Well, I guess that we had some of the music that we had done before had been, as I said, a little affected, but it meant that we couldn't play some of the instruments, and you know, there was a phase there where we did a tape without any guitars on it, because we were trying to somehow get a pop song, you know, heard by somebody. And
You get lost in the woods sometimes.
oh, and a good song, yeah, just gets just swept away because, you know, you couldn't express it musically, and you were trying to get other people. You're telling a saxophone player, no, do this. You pick up a guitar and you go, no, play this, and it never dawned on it. Just play it yourself on the guitar.
Yeah, right.
You know, you think you gotta have a saxophone, and you go, no, like this. And the guys go, no, I can't do that. And then you go, okay, we can't record. Oh, we're lost. And so then finally he said, well, you know, we just bought a couple acoustic guitars and said, well, we'll just play guitars, and if just strum guitars, do what we do.
Yeah. What sort of input do the other band members have? You guys like despos, dictators?
Well, it depends who you'd ask. You know, we think that we're, you know, that it's really free and open. You can do whatever you want, and they'd say that we, you know, we're real jerks. And
Yeah, well, they can shut up. No, they, you know, the way that the band writes is more or less that whoever sings the song has started it up. But by the time when it gets into the rehearsal hall and the band gets their dirty hands on it, it changes a lot, and it's only half formed at that point anyway. So, and the band has a lot of input about how we record, and to me that was half the time we spent in the recording studio, was 5 guys trying to come up with a consensus of what they want it to sound like. It's funny how everybody hears their own instrument too. Yeah. I don't think there's enough drums. You wouldn't be the drummer, would you?
I recognize you.
Yeah. Do you hear any guitars on that track? No, they're fine. They're just fine. Wherever they are.
But who decides, like, you know, if it's going to be like McDonald's or Burger King today? It's you guys, isn't it?
No. We all go our own ways. Like we
It's
don't.
the squeaky wheel gets the grease, and our drummer is the biggest complainer. So he gets his way more often than not, I'd say.
That's a tip for young musicians, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd say if you want your own way, complain and whine and squeal, and you'll get it.
It,
Forget
it eventually backfires. So, Luther Vandross's drummer just jumped out of a window in New York.
Really?
Did you really?
Yeah, but he was in a basement apartment.
He was trying to get out.
But seriously, was this an audience or an oil painting? Oh, you're out there. I can hear you breathing. Talk about songs, specific songs, starting with the big smash, the hit single. It's called "Try."
Try's a pretty standard love ballad, and in that it has a nice boy-girl relationship that keeps changing in the song because of the confusion in the lyrics, and a nice kind of falsetto voice on top of it. We just did a video for Try too. We did a nice video. It's just a kind of pastiche of images, and because the song is not particularly specific. I mean, you ask 5 people what they hear in that song, and there's a kind of a different relationship. Well, certainly different than what I was imagining when I wrote it. So that's good. So we didn't try to nail down the story in the video. We just try to leave it as these images and girl wandering through and the band playing in an industrial setting.
That's fine, but that's not good for the handicapped who have no imagination, like me. So tell me, what did you have in mind?
Well, I mean, this song is kind of about a guy mooning over a girl, but giving her advice about the rest of her love affairs at the same time. And that kind of painful situation where the guy is forced to be friends with a girl that he wants to be lovers with.
I see. Drawn from personal experience, yes?
No, I'm happily married. Happily married.
Yeah, but there was all those years that you were chasing after.
I know.
All of this.
Do you want to give some details that he'd be afraid to give?
Oh, just try it. You want to go detail for detail?
Yeah. Filthy secrets that you guys might have. This might be the time for. Maybe you should tell filthy secrets with the people who aren't here, which is always the
Go
best
back
way.
to Brett Titcomb.
Get ready. In the next few days, we'll release the entire interview with Steve Burgess. We had to cut out about 10 minutes because, remember, these reel-to-reel tapes, which were transferred with this reel-to-reel right here, are very old, 1987. So near the end, it started waffling, and you could hear it in the interview. So we had to cut some of it off. But really, they were just off the cuff talking about all kinds of things that weren't necessarily music. Find out more about Steve Burgess in the description. He'll have a new book coming out real soon. I'm John Beaudin. This is Rock History Canada.